Imagine this. You tap an app on your phone. Instagram, TikTok, a game. It opens. It feels instant. But inside your phone, a lot just happened. And there is one secret moment almost no one talks about. We'll get to that in a bit. Your phone is like a tiny city. Inside it, billions of parts move. They move very fast. At the center is the CPU. You can think of it as the city's boss. It gives orders. It checks rules. It decides what happens next. Next to it is the RAM. That is like a big work desk. It holds things the phone is using right now. There is also storage. This is like a huge library. It keeps all your apps and files, but it is slow to reach. Now you tap the app. What is the first thing that happens? Your finger touches the screen. Tiny sensors feel the touch. They turn it into numbers. Those numbers say, "User touched here at this time." The phone's touch system listens. It sends this message to the brain, the CPU. The CPU reads it. It says, "Oh, the user tapped this icon." But your app is not open yet. It is just a small picture on the screen, so the CPU must wake it up. And this is where that secret moment begins. First, the phone checks. Is this app already in RAM? If it is in RAM, that is like the app is already on the desk. The phone just brings that window to the front. Fast. This feels almost instant. But if it is not in RAM, the phone has to go to storage, the big library. It says, "Bring me the files for this app." The app is there as code, millions of tiny instructions. They are stored as ones and zeros. The phone copies the needed parts from storage into RAM, from library to desk. This takes time. Still very fast, but slower than if it was already there. While this happens, you see a splash screen, that first logo or loading screen. It hides the messy work. Now the app's code sits in RAM. But code is just a plan. The CPU must run it. The CPU reads the first instruction. Do this, show that, ask for this data. It runs millions of these tiny steps every second. Most of the time, you never see this. You just see smooth motion on the screen. The app also asks the system for space. Space to draw buttons, space to show text, space to play sound. This is called the UI, the user interface. Your phone gives the app a blank canvas. The app then says, "Put a button here, put a menu there, put an image at the top." In a blink, the first screen appears. But what about the internet? Many apps need online data. When you open a social app, the app asks the network, "Any new posts? Any new messages?" This is like sending a letter very fast, from your phone through Wi-Fi or data to a server far away. The server is just another computer, a very big one, maybe inside a data center. It checks your account. It finds your feed or your messages. Then it sends the data back. Your phone gets this data. Again, it is just numbers. The app turns those numbers into posts, images, and text. It draws them on the screen for you. You scroll, you tap. Each move sends more tiny messages. The CPU handles them. The app updates. The server replies. It feels smooth. It looks simple. But inside, it's a storm of messages. Now let's go back to that secret moment. When you open an app, your phone must choose. It has limited RAM. The work desk is not endless. So the phone checks. Do I have enough space on the desk? Can I open this app and keep the others? If there is not enough RAM, it makes a hard choice. It quietly closes some apps in the background, ones you have not used for a while. It saves what they were doing if it can, then it clears their space. This gives room for the new app. You do not see this, you do not feel it. But your phone is deciding which apps live in RAM and which ones must go. That is the secret moment. Your phone is silently killing some apps so the one you just tapped can start. This happens almost every time you are low on memory. Fast, quiet, in the shadows. Let's zoom in even more. Inside the CPU are smaller parts called cores. You can think of them as mini-bosses. Each core handles jobs. One core may handle your app logic. Another core may work on loading images. Another may deal with system tasks. They switch between jobs very fast. So fast, it feels like everything runs at once. The phone also has a GPU. This is the part that draws graphics. If the app has animations, smooth scrolling, or 3D graphics, the GPU helps. The app says, "Draw a list here. Draw a shadow there. Make this button move." The GPU takes that and draws each frame, again and again, many times each second, like flipping pages in a book very fast. That is what makes apps look alive. Now, what about battery? Every step costs energy. Every time the CPU works, every time the GPU draws, every time the network sends data, your battery gives a little power. Your phone tries to be smart. It slows things down when it can. It puts apps to sleep. It cuts background work. So while one app is open, others may be paused. They wait quietly, ready to wake up when you return. If an app uses too much power, your phone may limit it. It may stop background activity. This protects your battery and keeps your phone cool. There is also security. When you open an app, your phone puts it in a kind of sandbox. This means the app can only see what it is allowed to see. It cannot just read all your files. It must ask first. Can I see your photos? Can I use your camera? Can I access your location? You see these as permission pop-ups. Behind the scenes, the system checks rules. If you say yes, it gives the app a key. If you say no, the app stays locked out. This keeps your data safer. So let's put it all together. You tap the app, the touch sensor sends a message, the CPU reads it, the phone checks RAM. If needed, it closes some old apps. That secret moment of choice happens. The system loads the app from storage into RAM, from library to desk. The CPU runs the app's code. The app asks for a screen to draw on. The phone gives it. The app builds the UI, buttons, text, images. If it needs online data, it talks to servers. It gets numbers back. It turns them into your feed, your messages, your content. The GPU draws all this many times each second. The battery gives energy. The system checks permissions and rules. All of this happens in a blink, maybe in half a second, maybe in 1 second. To you, it feels like one simple thing. I opened an app. But inside your phone, a tiny invisible world woke up, moved fast, made choices, and shaped itself around your touch.